Hello, guys, and welcome to the new Wednesday show. I'm calling it the Comic Watch. Why is it called the Comic Watch? Because it's a reference to Marvel's Infinity Watch. And Infinity Watch is a group of superheroes, aliens, or whatever, that each have one of the Infinity Stones, and they watch over them. Hence the group's name, Infinity Watch. So I decided to take that, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to do the name Comic Watch. And each week on a Wednesday, we're going to be doing a video on a comics. It's either going to be me and Bard, or me and one of my other friends. So hi, I'm Helios. If you don't know who I am, I'm a big comic book nerd. So I thought, you know what? Why not make a whole series about them? So to kick off this new series, we're going to be talking about Infinity Countdown issues 1 through 4. Now, what is Infinity Countdown, you may be asking, viewer? You're like, Helios, what's Infinity Countdown? Infinity Countdown is basically a mini-series leading up to Infinity Wars for Marvel. The new rendition of Infinity Wars after Secret Wars. So, kind of backtracking a little bit. A couple years ago, back I think like 2015, 2016 maybe, Marvel rebooted their universe with a series Secret Wars, where Doctor Doom ended up getting the gauntlet and becoming a god. Not gauntlet, what am I talking about? He ended up getting powers of a god and became a god and destroyed the multiverse, or the multiverse got destroyed, and he took pieces of different multiverses and put it together into Battle World. And from there, the Fantastic Four and a lot of the heroes from the main Marvel universe all band together, and they end up getting control of the world again, and Mr. Fantastic rebooted the universe and put everything back in place and rebooted the multiverse and stuff. So at this point, from there you had like the new Civil War 2 and a bunch of other events, and now the Infinity Stones have made their appearance ever since they rebooted the universe. The Infinity Stones have been missing, so now they're starting to make their appearance again. So now we have the Infinity Countdown, where a bunch of these superheroes and aliens and stuff are starting to come across these Infinity Stones. So during this whole series, the people that have the stones as of right now, you have Wolverine, who has the Space Stone. But after issue, I think it's one. After issue 1, Wolverine ends up giving it to Natasha, or the Black Widow. So the Black Widow ends up having the Space Stone. Then you have Super Skrull, which I had no idea who that is. It's a Skrull, Super Skrull, I guess, and he has the Time Stone. You have Drax, who has the Power Stone until the very end. And then you have Captain Marvel, who has the Reality Stone. They have Turk Barrett, who has it's a character from Daredevil, and he has the Mind Stone. And then you have Ultron, who has the Soul Stone. Now, to start things off throughout this whole first 4 issues that we're talking about, there's this dwarf who are so you don't know. So if you don't know, the dwarves in the MCU, or not MCU, sure, but Marvel Comics, they are blacksmiths. They make armor and weapons for whoever. So you come across this dwarf who's held captive by somebody we don't see, and the dwarf is made to make armor for this said person. And it's the beginning of each issue. And then the 4th issue, whoever it is, once he finishes the armor, I'm assuming it's Thanos. That's my guess. After the dwarf finishes making the helmet, this person kills the dwarf instead of promising to let him go. So from there, we're going to go into what the main topic is. Yay. So you have like 3 different battles that happen during the 4 issues of Infinity Countdown. So you had the first battle, or the first set part of the story, which is the Battle of, I'm terrible at these names, Exit Anugig? I have no idea. I'm terrible at these names. And it's basically a battle between with Drax and Commander Eve from the Nova Corps versus Talonor, the leader of the Raptors, and Warbringer from the Chitauri Empire. Now, the Chitauri Empire, that's the only group I do know. It says Drax and the Nova Corps. The Chitauri Empire is basically an empire controlled by Thanos, if you don't know, they were the alien race that was attacking the Avengers in the first Avengers on Second New York. That was coming out of the portal. Those are the Chitauri. So you have a Warbringer from the Chitauri. Basically, this whole big chunk of the battle between Drax and Eve taking on the Raptors first, which is a new, not really new, they're new to me, a new group of villains, and then Warbringer comes in later. So you got the Raptors taking on Drax and the Nova Corps to try to get the Power Stone. Because Drax finds the Power Stone and he's sitting on top of it. The Power Stone's like a goddamn mountain. It's huge. It's like, we can't lift it, so we're just going to fight him off. Like, we're going to sit here. So Drax ends up taking on the Raptors, and then with the Nova Corps, the few Nova Corps members that are there. And the Warbringer comes in. He's like, I want the stone! Because the Warbringer is a warlord from the Chitauri Empire, and he wants the Power Stone to take on Thanos, kill him, and free his people and his empire from Thanos' reign of terror. So that's why he wants the stone. So from there, they all fight and stuff, and then and eventually Drax ends up calling for help with a alien. I don't know, because I don't read the Guardians of the Galaxy comic. I probably should. But there's an alien that's half android. I guess they got the virus of Ultron. So she's like half Ultron, half whatever alien. So she has telepathic powers. And she got connected to Drax. And Drax is like, yo, we need the Nova Corps and the Guardians. Help a brother out. So she ends up getting the Guardians and the Nova Corps, and they go there to help them. And with the Guardians is Nova. And Nova fights the Raptors. And it turns out one of the Raptors is his brother. I don't know which Nova this is, to be perfectly honest. I don't know on the top of my head. But it's his brother. And his brother's like, the Nova Corps left me, blah, blah, blah. Drama conflama. I don't know, because I don't read the Guardians comics. I'm behind. Or the Nova comic, for that matter. So I'm kind of just jumping in here like, oh my god, the stones. This is great. Yes. So his brother ends up getting taken away because he's injured. And Nova's like, how do we move the Power Stone? And his brother's like, it's a simulation or something like that. Use your mind. So he's like, I don't know what the fuck that means. So he goes to Star-Lord and he tells him what his brother told him. And Star-Lord's like, huh, that's interesting. So he goes over to the stone and uses his mind, I guess, things like make smaller as he touches it. And it shrinks down to a normal size of a power stone. Yeah. So from there, the group takes on the Raptors and most of the Chitauri. At this point, they take on the Chitauri and they beat them. And they're like, we're gonna deuce out. And they go back to whatever planet they end up going. And the Nova Corps is like, give us the Power Stone. And Star-Lord and the Guardians like, no. So not Thanos, what the heck? Star-Lord ends up walking off. And he sees Cosmo, which is a space dog. Cosmo, is it what I think it is? Is Cosmo the Soviet-Russian dog astronaut cosmonaut? Sure, we're going to go with that. And he follows Cosmo into this red room that has the Collector and his brother, the Grandmaster. And they're like, oh my god, you have the stone, great. Can we have it? And Peter's like, I'm going to keep it. And then you have this one bitch comes out of nowhere through some portal. Two women come through this one portal, and this woman's like made of stars and white hair and majestic as fuck or some shit. And she goes by the name of Phyla. We'll go with Phyla. And she's like, I want my stone back. And everyone's like, hello? Here, have it. And she says she's from another universe, and she explains that after the multiverse was remade, the reality stones of each universe were located in neighboring realities. So that means the reality stone that's in the MCU technically is not the main not MCU, what the heck? Marvel comic 616. That's the main Marvel Comics universe, 616. So that means this reality stone, by that logic, that means the reality stone in 616 is not 616's reality stone. So that makes me wonder, is Captain Marvel's reality stone from another universe by that logic? Which, by the way, Infinity Countdown has a Captain Marvel solo comic that I will read for part 2. Because part 2 is going to be Countdown issue 5 and some of the side series like Captain Marvel and Darkhawk and Daredevil and Black Widow and all that. So yeah, that'll be in part 2 whenever part 5 comes out. I'm going to do all part 5 and I'm going to do all the side stories. Because Darkhawk has like 4 issues. He has a longer series, which I don't blame him because Darkhawk's pretty cool. Anyway, back to the story. So Captain Marvel's Reality Stone, is it 616 or is it a neighboring multiversal reality? A reality stone from another multiverse. So that's interesting. I should probably get on that. To go backwards a little bit to where the Guardians were before they came inside to help Drax with the Power Stone. They were on a planet called Telefernia. I don't even know how to pronounce that right. And it's the Guardians like Peter and Gamora and Groot and Rocket with Nova and Ant-Man battling the Gardener. Now the Gardener is another cosmic, like ancient being, elder of the universe, kind of like the same level as the Grandmaster and the Collector. It's like on the same level as them. And he's going around this planet going, I want to destroy this planet and put it back to the way it was. And he makes these plants, these Groot-like aliens, these huge Groot-like aliens. So these guys, the Guardians, end up fighting this one called Scar. And Groot, they fight, and Scar's like kicking ass. It's like basically a humongous Groot. And Groot's like, I am Groot. And he goes to the Gardener and he snaps him out of his anger or whatever. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he like changes Groot and reverts him back to his normal size and normal Grootness. And Groot actually can speak normal language. Like he starts talking outside of I am Groot and he kicks ass. So basically this whole fight on this planet before they go over to help Drax has nothing to do really with the stones. It just deals with the Gardener. That's just like, I'm crazy. I want to pull a poison ivy and I want the plants to rule the planet. While the Guardians are like, no. So after all that happens, they go over help Drax and all that happens like I said in the beginning. In the last third of the 4 issues so far was talking about how Adam Warlock ended up going to, I think it was a soul planet, the planet that held the Soul Stone, where Ultron was. And Ultron was making a bunch of rockets that had his virus or whatever on it. And he was going to shoot off into the universe and cause everybody to become part Ultron. And so he can control the universe. And this Ultron has a face of has a face of, oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god. The original Ant-Man. He has like half of the original Ant-Man's face, and like Ultron. I know it's weird. Ultron's weird in the comics. So, Adam Warlock's like, where's Ultron? And his robot's like, he's busy. So he barges in and sees Ultron making the Silver Surfer into half Ultron. And of course Adam's not having it. So he kicks Ultron away and saves the Silver Surfer and turns him back into his normal self. And Silver Surfer's like, he deuces out. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. So he deuces out and he goes over to Galactus. And Galactus right now is the Lifebringer. What happened? Well, in the Ultimates 2 series, Galactus ends up becoming the Lifebringer, which is his final form. So he's not destroying planets, he's giving life to planets. And the Silver Surfer's like, hey, I need a favor from you to destroy this planet before Ultron spreads his virus and contaminates the whole world. And Galactus is like, no, I'm the Lifebringer. I don't do that anymore, fam. And Silver Surfer's like, but boy, do it, please. So then it jumps back to Adam getting his ass beat by Ultron. And Ultron's firing off all these missiles, and Silver Surfer comes back and destroys the missiles as Galactus comes down from the sky and starts destroying the planet. And at the very end, Ultron flies away defeated, going, no! And it turns out Galactus is back to being is back to being his purple eating plant self. And the deal was if he did this, the Silver Surfer will be his herald again. So it ends right there where Galactus is back to being Galactus with a herald of the Silver Surfer as he goes around devouring planets again. So, yeah. That was the first 4 issues of Infinity Countdown. My thoughts? I like it so far. I'm glad to see that the Infinity Stones are back. I kind of want to see what happens in Infinity War. I know it has something to do with death. Is a big part of this one instead of Thanos. Like death is just like, I'm death. I'm a hot skeleton bitch. Let's work shit. So I'm curious to see where this goes from here. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching the first episode of Comic Watch. See you guys next week when we talk about something else. Or the podcast. I don't know. It's life, you know. We just live day to day. So I hope you guys enjoy your Comic Book Wednesday. And I will see y'all next time on Friday with a podcast. Okay, bye.